Welcome, fellow magical folk.
Thank you for joining us today on the Cauldron Chat, where we will sit down and have a conversation with our contributors about their work on the Potions Brewbook, their experience, and just to get to know them better. We are your hosts, Potion Master Humanbob
and Potion Master Yelhsa, the mods of the Potions Brewbook, a collaborative cookbook containing various potions of all kinds created by our lovely, lovely contributors. And today we are joined by the amazing Potion Scribe Emil. Thank you for joining us today. Why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself?
Thank you for having me. My name's Emil. I don't really. I'm not good at introductions.
It's okay. It's cool. What do you like do? What do you normally write?
So I'm a former writing teacher. So I mostly write a lot of I used to write a lot of fiction. I write a lot of fan fiction because I'm also a nerd. So
I didn't know you were a writing teacher. What?
Yeah, it was part of a program at my college, so I spent a couple years as a writing teacher, and I transferred that into running a couple of writing clubs across various fandom groups, and eventually this was the first zine that I was ever accepted to, so this is my first zine experience.
Holy shit, what? Oh my gosh.
That's exciting.
So you your experience, your fanfic experience sounds so professional.
I have a very ridiculous sounding resume that if I went into all of it would sound very fake.
Oh my gosh. Alright. I think this is the time to do our flash question. Ooh. Are you ready, Emil?
No, but go for it.
I was just gonna say, who cares? We're gonna go with it anyway. Okay. Yelhsa, you want to start with the first two questions?
Alright. Emil, do you play D&D? And if so, name one of your characters.
I've never played D&D, but I do roleplay in just literate forms. So just a character name off the top of my head. My go-to character is Via.
Ooh, describe.
She's a bitch.
Hell yeah! The best kind of character.
I love that.
What kind of bitch? Describe the bitch in it.
So if you take Regina from Mean Girls, but she could actually kick your ass, then that's her.
Hell yeah.
Oh, wow.
So instead of the burn book, she would actually just straight up kill a bitch.
She hasn't killed anyone, she has people to do that for her.
Oh, okay.
Don't want to dirty your hands with no lame task.
Do you do any magic-related cosplays? And if so, name one that you've done and describe it.
Let's see. I have done a fair amount of cosplaying in previous years. I've started to branch into other hobbies. Mostly anime and video games, so most of those things have magic in them. The cosplay that I'm working on currently is Sephiroth.
Hey, Final Fantasy VII.
So I'd say that's probably my primary project that comes to mind.
So you make all of yours?
Half and half. I've bought a lot of cosplays. I've adapted, I've altered things from thrift stores. My partner is very crafty, so he's made stuff for me or helped me make things. Cool. So
Hell yeah.
That's awesome.
Save money.
Yeah.
I know that cosplay can get so expensive, so
Oh god, yeah.
oh, like I just started off cosplaying, or at least tried to, and then I'm just like looking at just like the what's it called, the eye contacts. Like I see that there are hundreds of dollars sometimes.
So those are the like Halloween style contacts, and like the ones that are like made and shipped from the US, those tend to be pretty expensive, and also contacts for like astigmatism. But a lot of cosplayers, they'll go to an eye doctor, get like their eyes sized and fitted and stuff, so they know what their base curve is, and they'll order them from websites like Candy Lens or Unique Sew or I can't think of any other ones off the top of my head. And they'll order them from like, usually they come from Korea, and they're usually like $20 to $30 a pair.
Oh wow.
Oh, hey,
That's such a big difference. Wow, yeah.
Yeah. Any other tips for any beginner cosplayers?
Starting with like smaller, less expensive companies when you're starting out is fine, and also buying cosplays is fine. There are a lot of great companies that make pretty high fidelity cosplays now. It's not like back when I started in like the early 2000s, where like the only cosplays that you could buy were absolute garbage. Like companies like Mick Costumes make pretty decent stuff, and learning how to do some basic sewing skills can save your butt, because you can alter things to fit you better, and even just little things like that can make a big difference. I think that one of the things that gets people like spending a ton of money for no reason at the beginning is thinking that they need to buy from the companies that the like greats buy from. Like, you don't need a wig from Arta Wigs for your first cosplay. Like, their wigs are ridiculously expensive because they're made for ridiculously high tier styling, which you're not going to be doing for your first costume. So, you know, smaller companies like Five Wits or Casso Cosplay, those kinds of things. A lot of people get wigs from Amazon or eBay, and they tend to be fine. You can look at reviews and find ones that are good for way cheaper. You don't need to buy the like high tier brands at the beginning when you're just starting out.
That's true. Yeah, there's a lot of kind of expectations that the beginner cosplayers feel like they need to uphold with all the fancy stuff. And like, I know that there's also this feeling that cosplayers feel the need to like make their own things from scratch. It's totally okay, yeah, to like buy costumes and stuff and use that. Hell yeah.
And there's a lot of like groups on Facebook where people are selling like costumes secondhand. You can get something from somebody, and that's usually significantly cheaper. And you know, if you have basic sewing skills, then you can adapt it. You can add to it. You can improve upon it. So, you know, you can start by altering things, and I think that that's probably the best way to get into it.
Hell yeah. Thanks for that.
Good advice.
Yeah.
A little bit of cosplaying tips and stuff in our little Cauldron chat. Okay, so next question. How many milliliters are there in a liter?
100?
3, 2, 100.
I don't know.
What do you call a group of cats?
My friends.
That's valid.
I mean, you're not wrong. That's true. Okay, what potion would you be?
If I were one of the potions from the book, what would I be? Or if I were one of, like, any potion at all?
Either one.
Either one.
Up to your interpretation.
I think that if I were a book from the if I were a potion from the book, because those are the ones that I know the best, then I would want to be Long Rest.
Ooh.
Because I like being comfy. I like the process of getting rejuvenated. I like the mysterious random shack in the woods that disappears as soon as you go around go around a corner and you can never find it again.
Yep.
I love everything about the mythos of that potion in particular.
And you were the one that created it, eh?
Yes, that is one of mine, as self-centered as that sounds.
No.
No,
But
not at all.
I literally just had it for lunch, so.
Oh.
Oh, nice! Oh my
So
gosh.
it's one of my go-tos.
That's good.
Hell yeah! I mean, like it's one of the few stews, meals, things that we have in our brew books, and like it's super awesome that you made it, because it can be used as a full meal with so many great health, kind of mental health and spiritual health benefit. And you also like created, like what you said, the whole mysteriousness, the whole scenario for it, which I found so cool. Like I really loved seeing pictures that you sent of your stew too.
It looks really good.
It's pretty delicious, especially with some buttered bread. Just it's good.
Hell yeah,
it's good stuff.
Yeah, you did mention that in your recipe. Like, have a little toast ready if possible.
How would you describe your writing style in one sentence?
Trying to not be pretentious.
Ooh.
Alternatively, who is this about? I'll find that I'm like 4 pages into writing something and I haven't name dropped the character once.
Oh yeah, I do that sometimes too.
I have to keep going back and just being like, I gotta find places to put their name.
Yeah.
So you have no idea who's talking.
Because like you know the name and then you're like, nobody else does. You're just writing.
Like, I know who's there.
Yeah.
So like you do talk about like the character, you have them say things and all that, but you just forget
they're talking, they're gesturing, they're interacting with the world, but like I never name drop them. So like you'll get like 3/4 of the way through it and you'll be like, who is this?
Yeah, especially when you have multiple people with the same pronouns.
Mm-hmm.
So you're just like, yeah, I find that is like a kind of problem that does happen. Like I read sometimes, like even published books, and they're just like, he said blah blah blah, he said blah blah blah, and I'm just like, who's talking? Wait, what? This is confusing.
This is why we have multiple drafts.
Yes.
Yep. And like the interesting thing is that I have to like really clue into the characters' personalities and their situations to figure out who's talking with who. It's such like a challenge. Sometimes fun, but yeah,
sometimes it's fun.
A nice name drop will be good.
Making the book a mystery when it's not supposed to be.
Exactly.
Alright. Can you spell your name backwards?
I can because I'm looking directly at it, so Lime. It's a lime.
Lime.
Did you know that your name backwards is Lime?
Not until just now.
That is actually hilarious. Oh my gosh.
I typed it out so like I could double check that it was right, and I was like, wait a second.
That's actually really awesome. Especially since lime is one of like the key ingredients in the brew book.
So it
Like I
works
see it a
out.
lot. Huh. It was meant to be, man. It was meant to be. Truly.
Alright. And the final question is, what is your favorite thing?
My favorite thing, just in
Yes.
general,
Just in general.
my cat.
Cat?
My cat.
Oh. What's your cat's name?
Her name is Benora, but we just call her BB.
That's cute.
Fancy. I know there's like a thing called BB cream.
Yeah.
Maybe it was named after her.
Oh yeah, she's beautiful. So.
Absolutely. Everyone's gotta be like her. The beauty radiating off of her. You can only get that from the BB.
She's my whole life.
How old is she?
She's 2.
Okay.
And she acts like it. She's a little toddler menace.
A toddler menace.
Ooh.
Going
Little
through those
bitchiness.
terrible twos.
Yep.
Maybe she was your inspiration for your roleplay character?
Alright, so the character existed before she did, but I have because I do some role playing like with people in person. When she's around, I'll like assign her a character, so she's actually like played cat characters
Oh wow.
Oh, sweet.
because we can't just ignore that she's there. She will not handle being ignored.
Exactly.
So it's just like, all right, you're gonna be this person's cat.
I've never seen a roleplay with a cat.
Yeah, no.
Okay, getting into the interview part. I'm gonna start with the first question. What are your thoughts and experiences with Witchcraft Potion?
I'm pretty new to the to like actually exploring it, because I live in the in New England, like the Northeast United States, and that was the area where like the Wicca boom kind of happened, and so I avoided that pretty strongly at the time. So it was only in the last couple of years that the like online witchcraft community sort of came to be or came to prominence, where there's been more of a push for witchcraft being more gender neutral and including men, and
Woo!
like the sort of crossover with the the queer community and the witchcraft community. And that's been sort of where I came into it, is through a few like online groups that were specifically like queer witchcraft communities, which was sort of my introduction to the experience. And I've always found the spirituality side of it interesting, but didn't get a chance to start like going into it until the last couple of years. I got into it primarily through tea.
Tea.
Mm-hmm. As you can tell from the fact that most of my potions are tea.
Yeah.
For a second, I was like wondering what you meant by tea. When you said that, I was like thinking of the letter T, as if you're saying an acronym, and I was like, are you talking about Tumblr?
Oh my
Or are you
gosh.
talking about some kind of like secret club or something? Oh
a
my
secret
gosh.
club of I drink a lot of tea for a couple of years, and I got super into blending new teas and assigning meanings to the different flavors and looking into the like spiritual stuff behind the different ingredients and the medical medical things of the different ingredients. I think that the anti-nausea potion, which is a chamomile-based tea, that was my introduction, I think, because me and my partner got horrible food poisoning at an anime convention.
Oh no!
And we started like aggressively Googling what can we do to be less miserable right now.
Google, help us.
So Google mentioned chamomile tea, and there happened to be a tea bag of that like in the hotel room. So we made it, and it worked. And we're like, oh my god, witches are real.
Yes, the power of the herbs is real.
So that was sort of how we got into how I, at least, because he was already kind of into that through his mother, but that was how I got into witchcraft and potions and tea making in particular.
Nice.
You make a lot of theme teas, don't you? Like your Etsy shop, I think.
Yes, I have like a little tea brand called the Tea Bearers that are like Kingdom Hearts, Final Fantasy, Square Enix teas, and there's an Etsy shop right now, but once the listings expire on there, I think that I'm gonna take a break from it. So that I can focus on my zine projects, because that's where my passion has been lately.
So guys, if you guys want to buy stuff from Emil's Tea Bear line, you guys gotta go get them before they're sold out. Time is of the essence. Well, that's pretty cool, yeah. I really liked how Chi basically saved your life.
Yeah, it saved us from having an absolutely miserable weekend, if nothing else.
Good.
Nice. What was your experience like in the project? What did you like about being part?
So this was definitely like probably the most fun that I've ever had on like a group project. I loved the way that everything was set up. I thought that the organization side of things and the contributors handbook and setup was incredible, and like I thought that was great and so useful. I am actually basing I'm basing the worksheets for my zine off of the contributors handbook because it was amazing.
Yes. That makes me feel so blessed. I am truly and my pride and joy are definitely like my handbooks and my other documents. So I'm blessed that you are taking inspiration from it. Yeah.
They're so good. I love organization. I love spreadsheets. I love paperwork. They're excellent.
You're the only person I've ever heard say you love paperwork.
I love paperwork. I file everyone in my house's taxes.
Oh my gosh.
Nice.
Can you do
I actually feel the same though, because like my aunt is hiring me as her bookkeeper for her taxes and stuff, and I am truly actually excited to spend my day doing that.
Y'all, come do mine.
But yeah, like, well, what else did you like specifically about making the potions, like interacting with your contributors? What was your experience like working with your group?
So I loved that every potion had its own little group, that there was a good mix and match of getting to work with a bunch of different people, and like how, because of how different each potion was, everybody ended up with such completely different ideas. Like the art is absolutely phenomenal, and every single page is gonna look so different, and I'm just so stoked for this. I'm like, I can't wait to have it in my hands and like look at all of this art in person. So I loved how unique everything was. I liked that you guys gave everyone the freedom to interpret things their own way, because I think that it really like speaks to everyone's individual experience with something that is kind of personal, because witchcraft is a little bit spiritual and it is a little bit personal. So being able to see everyone's personal interpretation of that was really incredible.
And the cool thing is that everyone can interpret their interpretations in their own way too.
Exactly.
Like as they're reading it, so that's really cool. Yeah, it's like a each art piece, writing piece, even the recipe itself is like a great guide to potions, to kind of guiding everyone's interpretation and experience through these potions. And like the fact that you guys, with all of this creative freedom, you guys managed to make all of those, like, so much guidelines and little details that really just enhanced the experience and helped people figure out like different kinds of actions to really boost the potion. It's awesome.
This definitely had the most creative freedom out of any project that I've been part of, and I think that it worked out perfectly for what it was trying to do.
That's great to hear.
How is it like, though, being part of so many groups, so many collaborative groups?
Did like 15 total potions.
Yeah.
I think that the most helpful thing that I did was I made little chat groups on Discord and I labeled them all.
Oh, good.
So I'm just like, all right, how long has it been since somebody's checked into this one? And I like set aside specific days where I would go through and check in on every single one, and I had a checklist, and you know, so I think that was
systematic.
I think that was the only way that I could have gone about it without like having missed something important.
Yeah, wow. Super organized.
It's the only way that you can. It's the only way that you'll survive.
And it kind of makes sense now, knowing that like you take on such big projects.
Yeah.
Like in your normal life, you know, how you've managed to take on 15 potions and thus 15 collaborative groups all at once. Yeah, it's awesome. What was like the process, the thought process, the kind of like brainstorming process and stuff that you guys would go through?
So what I would do is I put down my summary and what I had for my list of ingredients first, and you know, I would give them like, this is the vibe that I get when I make this, and you know, but I want you to look at the summary and the ingredients and tell me what impression you get, and you know, this is what it tastes like, you know, so that you have that as a baseline, and you know, this is the direction that I feel, but I want to know what you feel. And we got a lot of really good really good like small brainstorming sessions and some sketches, you know, tossed back and forth with the artist. And like I think that was probably the best way to go about it. Was, this is the core of it, what does that make you feel like?
So which was your favorite piece or potion?
Oh God, they were all so good.
You gotta pick your favorites, man.
Oh God. The ones
Only
that I
one.
the ones that I worked on with sushi
Mm-hmm.
were probably my favorite design-wise because they were so different. So I worked on Remnant's Brew and Druidic Spirits
Mhm.
with sushi, and one has the artistic style of an explorer's notebook where it's got like sketches of leaves and it's got like things taped to the page and like it really like I thought that it was an incredible interpretation of that one in particular, and the Remnants Brew has this haunted mansion Addams Family style, like pictures of bones and like picture frames of all different weird wonky shapes and sizes and just so cool. And Sadie did like a really like gorgeous macabre poem for it, and so I think that those are probably my favorite ones, but I am blown away by all of them. Like AJ's art for the Dragon's Breath potion was mind-bogglingly.
Oh, yeah. I love how you describe Sushi's art for the Remnant Brew, right? Because like I was like thinking that kind of art style is so familiar, and it's just like, yeah, Addams Family, that's it. And I definitely agree, like the Dragon's Breath, so good too.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, the luminescence of it is like really enhances experience.
Yeah, ADI did like these like so much smoke work, and I find lights, glowing, and smoke to be the most impressive things artistically. Like making that pop out on a 2D image is just so cool to me. And also the dragons are so cute.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a little mini dragon with a cauldron.
I really like
so
that one.
Cute and good, and I love them.
Yeah, we're so blessed to have ADI in our project. It's awesome that you gave us your favorite. We were like really muhaha about it because we know picking favorites is a toughie one.
They're all so incredible that it's like it's really hard, especially since like I don't have a lot of artistic ability, if any. So it's just even seeing the art coming through, I'm just like, how could you do this for me? It's just for me, and I'm like,
yeah. Oh my gosh.
it's like how every fanfic writer's like dream is having someone draw a fan art of their work. It was like that, but I got to do it 15 times.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Yeah, like I love that whole kind of like process, that whole aspect of this project, because you don't normally get art for recipes.
Yeah.
Right? Especially for potion recipes. So being able to have that interaction, have that product like that happen, it's like amazing and so cool, especially like with the fact that the art, like it's there, like what you said, there's so many different ways to interpret one recipe. So seeing that 1% they have, so cool. And there's also our grimoire, which is our bonus PDF. It's gonna have a bunch of different whips and stuff, because our artists, writers, and chefs did go through different renditions to be able to come to the final product. So, watchers, buyers, people who are interested, who are out there, like, totally check out the bonus PDF, buy the bonus PDF, and you'll see all of these other different interpretations that our lovely contributors. Last two questions. First off, why did you join this?
Because it was probably the coolest, most unique project idea that I had seen. I was looking. I really wanted to do a zine. I was really interested in the idea of getting into zines. So I was looking through like all those zine retweet accounts and searching zines as like a tag on social medias and stuff to try and find stuff that I was interested in. And it stood out so much as like just something completely different from what other people were doing. And I'm like, I want in. That's so cool.
We're honored to have you join this project.
I'm glad that I got to be part of it.
Yeah.
I'm like so honored to be part of something like this cool.
It was meant to be, man. It was meant to be. It's fate. I mean, yeah, we were like honestly so happy that you applied because, like, 15 potions.
Yeah.
and like the fact that they're all different.
Yeah.
You know, like so different. And you have this great passion, and I hope like people just like from watching them can hear the passion and experience that you had, like the legit experience that you had with potion, that kind of create the foundation of these 15 potions that you made for our book. You know,
I'm really glad that I got to do so many. I'm glad that I was allowed to do as many as I did.
We're super
I had,
happy you did do this.
We're glad too.
Yeah.
I had like 8 million ideas and nowhere to put them.
Oh my gosh, you know what?
Could you fill your own
a little. You know what? You should totally consider maybe making your own like potion cookbook too. Yeah, since you have 8 billion ideas, and also a little hint. Me and Yelhsa have been talking about doing future volumes for potions, and some other things, which too.
I'm interested.
Hell yeah. Yeah, we might just bring you in.
Yeah.
You know.
Just hit me up.
For sure. So final question, Emil. Why do you think people should buy?
If for nothing else, seeing so much gorgeous art and writing, like even if you don't like think that you'll ever make any of these, just the amount of talent, the sheer talent that went into this, I think that especially for the price point, it's very competitively priced with other zines, and it's a bigger size even, because I think we're doing A4. Whereas most zines are in A5, so that's like twice the size physically of an average zine with the same pricing, really. So you're like, it's a good deal for some damn good art. If nothing else.
You're getting your bang for your buck.
Yes, absolutely. And some of the merch as well I'm so stoked for it. getting a bunch
Yeah.
of merch for myself. I think
Hell
that the
yeah.
I think the little charm, the
The
wooden
tea bag?
potion bottle charm
Yeah.
is my favorite. If I had to pick a favorite, because it's all really good. But
Wait, are you talking about the strainer charm that Sushi made?
yes,
Yeah.
I
Oh
might
yeah.
be a bit of a fanboy for sushi. So
I mean, it's not hard to, like it's
Yeah.
when you meet Sushi, when you see their art and stuff, it's
Yeah.
like, how can you not?
so
Yeah.
if
Hmm.
if if for nothing else, it's an incredible like compilation of so much variety and passion in art and the writing pieces too. I haven't talked as much about those, but like there's some great poetry in there that people have written. There's some cute little fan fictions. I'm pretty sure that Ginny wrote a lullaby for one of them that
Mhm.
was
Hmm.
really sweet, and like you can really feel how much everyone loved working on what they were working on.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
A lot of
definitely.
passion in all these pieces.
And
Yeah.
some of them are like pretty damn cool recipes,
Yeah.
and a lot of them aren't very complicated either. So like it's not like when you buy a recipe book and everything's got like 40 ingredients and expects you to know a bunch of cooking
Yeah.
lingo. Like a lot of them are pretty simplistic to where you could throw them together just to give it a shot.
Yeah. And like I find that throughout the recipes, um the focus is more on like the process of things. Like it's important to have the ingredients and stuff, but uh it's really like how you make them. Like there's instructions on like breathing it in, breathing in each ingredient, and like doing mantras, but it's like at the same time, like it's still quick and easy to do. It just encourages a lot of mindful.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and I think that that's really good too. That there's a lot of like personal and spiritual stuff sort of woven in, which I think that it could be a pretty good wind down tool for
Mhm.
or like just there's a handful of pretty decent mindfulness exercises in there,
Yeah.
and like positive affirmations. A lot of the self section focuses on you know making yourself feel better, making yourself feel better about yourself. you know they're
Mhm.
they're
Mhm.
very positive, so I like that a lot.
This brew book is truly like a 5,001
Yeah, it
It
is.
really
kind
is.
of cookbook. Yeah, like you have art, the writing, and not just like one type of writing, the bajillion different kinds of writing,
Mhm.
um, and also the recipes with instructions on things like mindfulness and like cooking a stew, and like so many other different things. You also have a little tips on like ingredients too.
Yeah.
Which is awesome. Yeah. Uh, yeah, like definitely this cookbook is really a bang for everyone. Um, so I like we just want to give you like this last little bit, some time for you to talk about any other like projects, any projects that you're doing right now that you want to advertise, that kind of stuff. Go right ahead.
So, as I've mentioned a couple of times, I'm one of the primary runners of the Final Fantasy VII Transzine, which is a focus on transgender and non-binary headcanons of Final Fantasy VII characters, because there's a lot of overlap with the queer community and Final Fantasy VII because of the content in it, and so I found that there was a lot of interest for that kind of thing, and applications for the Safer Work zine are open right now, and I think that by the time this interview's posted, if I'm looking at the schedule right, then the Not Safer Work zine should be opening within about a week of that. And that's at FF7 Transzine on Twitter. And that's the primary project that I'm working on right now. There's also a Axel Kingdom Hearts zine that I wrote for and am providing a tea for. And that's the Flurry of Dancing Flames zine. There are 2 Axel zines that are going on right now. But mine's the Flurry of Dancing Flames zine.
Okay.
And that's the one that I contributed to. And those are my primary things that I'm working on. Also, Sadie is also on the Transzine. She's the writing mod. So
Awesome.
there's a little bit of overlap with this team as well.
Some good overlap.
So I was really, really happy to be able to participate in this project. It was by far the most fun that I've had on a group project ever.
Same with us, 100%.
It's been a delight having you.
Yeah. Honestly, the feeling is mutual for all of us.
Yeah.
I definitely felt. Yeah. But yeah, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Today. It was so fun talking with you, learning more about your background and everything. Yeah. Go check out Emil's zines, Emil's work, and we'll see you guys next time. Bye.
Bye. Thank you so much for tuning in to Cauldron Chats. We greatly appreciate your support. If you haven't already, give this video a like and leave a comment on your thoughts and join in on the conversation with us. Subscribe to join the Brewbook Academy to see our future videos. We have a lot in store, and here's a tentative schedule for you all. Follow our socials or join our Discord server to get updates on what's going on with the Potions Brewbook. Pre-order the Potions Brewbook to get a cookbook filled with amazing potions, beautiful art, and wonderful writing, as well as some lovely merch to top it all off. All links are in the description down below. Have a wonderful day. Stay magical.